guys, and welcome back to Tea Tuesday. Let's get started. So, this is part 3 of my renting in Korea series, I guess, at this point. Last week I discussed office towels, which is what I live in now. This week, I'm going to discuss villas. What are villas and what are some benefits and maybe drawbacks to a villa? So first, villas are usually much smaller than an office tower or an apartment. I'm pretty sure villas are usually about 5 floors. Or less, in some cases, like 2-3 floors. They're really small buildings, and there's not a lot of tenants in the building either. Oftentimes, because they're so short of a building, they don't have elevators. I think, I could be mistaken, but I believe in Korea you have to have more than 5 floors, and then it's mandatory you have an elevator. So villas oftentimes don't have elevators. The other big thing that's different with villas is that there's really usually no security guard or any kind of security. Now, that's not all cases. Some villas do have like a door that only residents have access to. So like there's a keypad and you put in a little number and then you can get into the building. And that's on some, but others there's just no actual like security, maybe a gate or something like that, but not really any security in a villa, which means you don't really have a building fee because you don't have to pay for elevator, you don't have to pay for a security guard, you're not really paying a building fee. Now, again, this isn't always the case. Some do have like CCTV, and you're paying for like the electricity, so it's a very small amount for a villa if you have a building fee in the villa, but oftentimes you don't. Okay, the other thing is villas are usually pretty big, and that's because they're older. Most of them are older than say the office towels or an apartment or something like that. Not always the case. There are old apartments and there are old office towels, but a lot of villas are, from the 90s or the 80s or something like that. They're older than a lot of different places, which makes them cheaper, right? They're not as updated. Sometimes the landlord will update and change things around and stuff, but they're generally an older building. The features are generally older. The bathroom is very Korean style, so there's no separate bathtub or shower section. You're showering over your sink because your shower is connected to your sink, right? So villas are pretty traditional Korean housing. It's not like a hanok, right? It's not a traditional house, but it is a very Korea house, right? So you have different sizes of apartments here, or not apartments, villas. So you can have a 1.5 room villa, which is like a bedroom connected to like the kitchen area. You can have a 2 room, which is 2 bedrooms and then a kitchen area. You can have a 3 room villa, which is 3 different bedrooms and a kitchen area. Do you notice a pattern here? There is a kitchen area. So your kitchen is separate usually from the rest of the apartment, and it's like in its own little section, right? So that's unique because I know you guys, if you've seen my apartment, my kitchen in my office towel is connected to my living room, right? Is connected to the rest of my apartment. There's no doors. There's not really any separation from anything like there is in a villa. You have doors. You can shut a bedroom door. You can shut, a living room door if you make one of the bedrooms a living room, depending on the size of the apartment. And yeah, so that is what a villa is. The benefits of it generally, because they're older, they are cheaper than an office tell. Okay. So you guys know I've been looking at apartments, and I've seen some villas and they have been cheaper than a lot of the one room office tells that I've seen as well. And so, and they're bigger, but they're cheaper. And you don't have a maintenance fee, right? So generally villas are cheaper because they're older. They're not as renovated. They're not as sparkly as, say, an office tell. But that doesn't mean that it's bad, right? They aren't bad housing if you can find the right one. Now, there are shit villas, but there are shit office tells too. It's a mixed bag. It depends on what you're looking for. So a benefit of a villa is the price, right? Your no building fee. The apartment rent is usually cheaper. You're really only out of pocket you have is your rent, which is going to be cheaper, and your gas and electric and water, which is comparable to an office tell depending on how you use your gas and electric, etc. So it's cheaper to live in a villa here in Korea. The other thing is it's small. So you don't have a lot of people coming and going in your apartment like you would in an office tell. My floor has more people on it than in a villa, right? So my office tell, there's a lot of people that live in my building. It's 15 floors. 12 of the floors are rentals, right? So there's people coming and going all the time. Whereas with a villa, it's more quiet, I guess, shall we say, in terms of like your neighbors and stuff. You're not going to have as many neighbors. So you might know who's actually singing randomly during the day in your apartment complex, whereas I don't actually know who's singing randomly during the day in my office. Like, I can't tell you if it's the person above me, person next to me, person below me. I have no idea. I just hear them talking, and not talking, I hear them singing, and they're not good singers either. It's cray cray, guys. But yeah, so it's a lot quieter, shall we say. Not necessarily your neighbors are going to be quiet, but like there's not a lot of people coming and going. Drawback, it is older. And oftentimes, especially if you're looking for a cheaper place, oftentimes the state of the apartment isn't that great. So like they haven't renovated, or it's cheap materials, etc. Right? So that's kind of a downside. Another downside is often with villas, you have to furnish everything. And I'm not just talking about furniture. You have to have a refrigerator. You have to have a stove or a cooktop or an induction range or something. You have to have a washing machine. Some come with air conditioners, some do not. You have to get all of that and do it yourself, right? So that is a big expense. It is cheaper, but you do have all of this stuff coming out that you have to purchase when you move into it. Obviously, it's yours, so you can take it when you move again. So it's a one-time expense, but it is something to think about when or if you're looking at apartments. You will have to buy appliances and furniture and everything, because literally the only thing it comes with is a toilet, maybe a sink in the bathroom, maybe, and kitchen cabinets and a sink in the kitchen. That's it. That's all that's normally in a villa. So that is what a villa is, and those are the benefits and maybe negatives of living in a villa. I hope you guys enjoyed it. In the next video, I'm going to talk about apartments, like apartments, what they call apart here in Korea. I'm going to talk about that in the next video. So I love you guys, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!